Everybody, welcome to Beyond the Bell. I'm Andrew Zarian, and it's black there, but I'm back. I'm here. We were on hiatus for quite some time. Rich did a show. MG did a show. Apart? It just all fell apart. Hey, Rich, how are you?
It all fall apart. Good morning. We did several shows. We have new catchphrases where it became a whole different element. It's pretty fantastic. But I did get a letter from FCC President Brandon Carr that said, "No more Mr. Gonzo."
He's bad. He's banned again.
He's donezo. He said, "We'll get canceled if this guy ever shows his face on camera ever again and starts talking about wrestling and the ladies and whatever else he's doing."
Was he talking about the ladies again?
Oh yeah, he kept saying things are gonna get weird.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, so the way that we're doing this, it's a very different setup. I don't know how I sound to you guys. I don't know if I sound good to you guys. I don't know if I sound terrible to you guys. I have no idea. I hope I sound good. Rich, I sound pretty good to you.
You sound good, yeah. You sound like you're coming down with a little bit of a cold, but you sound good.
I am. That's a whole separate issue. But a lot of wrestling that we didn't talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was away. They sent me away, dude. I was locked away. They finally found me. The KGB found me. They took me. But we're back now. Hopefully things will be okay. Half of the studio has to go to repair. That's the big problem here. Yeah. And these are very pricey pieces of hardware. Like this audio system is probably about 25 to 30 grand, maybe more. Could be possibly more now. I don't know. But everything has to go away. So
yet you look start. And sound exactly the same.
Thank you. I do have a new trick, though. Okay? Uh-huh. You ready? So, yeah. Rich, I had some news, didn't I? I did some groundbreaking news. Every time we have a scoop, this is what happens. You ready?
Ready. Oh, that's fantastic. I like that.
This is what happens now.
Is this why you were gone for so long? You were like, I got to work on this effect.
I got to work on being a hologram, dude.
I got to work on this to wow the boys. I'm not going to do a show for a month and a half.
It was 1 month. It was a month and a half, yeah.
Working on these Rich, lasers.
You're very low to me, but I think that's a me problem.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a me problem.
I think you think everybody's low compared to you.
I don't know. I'm very loud on my headphones. But what are we talking about? You run the show. Listen, I was on hiatus. This is no longer my show. This is your show. Where do you want to go? Because there was so much wrestling that we didn't cover, and there's so much news that came out that we didn't cover. So why don't you? Dude, I want you to guide it.
Dude, there is so much. So, honestly, the first thing at the top of my head is like a weird fanboy thing, right? It looks like they're putting Finn Balor back on top.
Which I like.
Really enjoying this, right? Did you catch the last couple of weeks of Raw and also Balor's been doing podcasts, which he's never done before. Apart from I think a Jericho appearance, maybe 10 years ago.
I didn't know that he's never done them.
He doesn't really do podcasts. So he was on the Cody show. He did the Steph thing. They're pushing him again. I think they're revisiting what made him Finn Balor. It just seems like that through the promos. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I like him, dude. He looks incredible. He's been doing this for so long. He's one of those guys that his opportunity was kind of stolen from him. They had plans for him as the Universal Champion, the first Universal Champion, beating Seth Rollins. He dislocated his shoulder or whatever he did. He didn't get that opportunity. It's like the Drew McIntyre thing. And then when you try to redo it again, you can't do a redo. So that kind of set his destiny in that company, unfortunately, which is totally unfair, but it is what happened. Now they're realizing, listen, this guy is a stud. He looks incredible. He's a great worker. People love him. Why aren't we doing something with him?
And he stayed healthy. I think that's a huge thing for them, especially you don't want the risky banged up guys on top, right? I feel like obviously that's a thing that promoters want to keep on the down low. You don't want damaged goods. This guy's been healthy for a while. He still looks great. He still works great. He's got a lot of guys working underneath him. The Judgment Day stuff was good. I think it's time for him to leave the Judgment Day and go on his own again. And I think this Punk angle is very interesting. Do you think he's winning pre-WrestleMania, or do you think it come down to Punk Roman?
I don't know. I think it's going to have to be Punk and Roman because that's such a big match that they haven't done on this scale. I thought that promo a couple of weeks ago between Roman and Punk was so incredible. I thought that was great. It made me excited about that match. And, this is a company that really does a poor job at making people excited about the matches that they're going to watch. I've always felt that about them.
Is it the company or is it the promos going into it? Because I feel like WWE is and this is a personal thing. I think WWE is in a very interesting spot right now, right? Where I agree with you for maybe 50% of what they put out, but then that top percentage, the promo work does its job. Like the Punk and Roman stuff is getting me excited. You're getting excited.
As far as that goes, yeah. I'm not too excited for Cody. Like, what's Cody doing?
Right. I feel like that's kind of like up in the air also, but I do feel like Cody's so over at this point that it doesn't matter. Like, he's a made guy, right?
Yeah. At this point, yeah. I mean, him, Punk, Roman, Drew, they have a huge list of those guys, that are Jacob Fatu now, he's in that mix. So I think it's really interesting how it shifted to that. But, WrestleMania, they got to do something to make that other side more exciting because really, and I didn't like how they were like, oh yeah, that secondary belt. I don't want that nonsense title on SmackDown. I'm like, why are you doing that?
Right. Why
are you diminishing that title? Because that was the one that you were going after.
Right. It's a little bizarre. I feel like they do that, but they do that every so often. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's so do you consider, again, this is like wrestling fandom 101. Do you consider CM Punk's belt the big gold belt? Is that what that belt represents?
I guess so, right? I guess that's what it is now. It would have to be the big gold.
Right.
And I guess it's unique to Roman because he's never had that title. So, he's going to want that title because he's never held it. So that's interesting too. It's also punking him for that title. So you could say that, oh, this is our workers' title. This is the title, like a Ric Flair type title.
Now, do you think that headlines WrestleMania night 2 or night 1?
It has to. Yeah. I would say that would have to be the match because first of all, it's Roman Reigns.
Right.
It is amazing how Punk is getting it now. He's going to have his main event.
Yeah.
And it's a real main event. It's not the main event on night 1. It's the main event on night 2, and he'll finally have it.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool for him. Yeah.
Yeah. But last year, I think I did consider that the better main event.
Oh, the Punk match?
Yeah. The triple threat. Yeah. I thought the triple threat kind of blew the Cody Cena match out of the water.
Was that the match last year? Yeah, it was. Oh my God, it was last year.
Yeah, see,
that was. You know what? It was forgettable, right? It was not. Yeah, that stupid Travis Scott stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne kind of injected himself in that story. I don't know what the hell happened there. That was something.
Is Dwayne gonna inject himself this year to WrestleMania?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, from last night?
That's what he's gonna do.
I would love that. And the first thing I thought of when I saw that box yesterday, I was like, oh, Mankind's in there. Mankind's in there.
Dude, who's in the box? All I thought, honestly, the first thing that came to my mind was Jim Cornette.
Oh my God.
Jim Cornette. Because you got a box gets over. You put someone in a box, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So who's in the box? Is it Chris Jericho?
Oh my God. It would be hysterical if they went straight comedy and it was like a clown car and you just had like
one after another
person coming out of that box, like Chris Jericho, Jim Cornette, Brother Love shows up.
Yeah. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Just bring him out of the box.
I wonder what the payoff is going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid. Like, how does the payoff work? Okay. How would that payoff work? The box is sitting there. So is this person sitting in the box the entire time till what, the 26th?
I don't know, man. Like, I really am curious as to what's in it. Like, but again, you're going into this as a lifelong WWE fan. I feel like you're also primed for like a weird letdown, right?
I think the big weird letdown is going to be when Chris Jericho comes out of the box and the story is that he's been in the box the entire time. And he has no memory of ever going to AEW. I mean, actually, that's brilliant.
I would love that. I would love
Like, what are you talking about? Where?
What
What did
other
I
company?
do?
I've been in the box the whole time.
I mean, it should be Danhausen.
That would be awesome.
He comes out like this.
Yeah, they shipped him in a crate.
They shipped him in a crate from Transylvania. I mean, isn't that the most perfect way to debut him?
I would love a Danhausen WWE run, but he follows Aleister Black around, where Aleister Black is like the serious spooky guy.
Dude, I love you so much. You have no idea how much I love you. You took it out of my brain. Literally, you just took this. I was literally going to say he should be following Danhausen. He should be following Aleister, and he should be his comedy guy.
Yeah, and it's just very much like, get away from me until they win the tag titles. And it just evolves into something. Do you think can I love Aleister Black? Can Aleister Black do comedy?
I think he can. Okay. Here, you want me to tell you how they win the tag titles? Okay.
Please.
He's just screwing things up for him, right? He's screwing things up. He's like, no, I'm a real vampire. You know, Danhausen's like, I'm a real vampire. He's like I want to know about your macabre abilities, whatever, right? And he does the spooky thing, and it never works. So they're in a tag match for the titles, and he goes to do the spooky thing. And who's a tag champion right now? Give me the tag team they're facing.
Oh,
who do he face?
Jesus Christ! Who are the tag champs on SmackDown? Yeah, right. Like, isn't that nuts?
Isn't it? It's Solo and Tama, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes up, and Tama's doing his weird yap thing, and he goes like this, and he pokes him in the eye. Aleister wins with a roll up.
I like
it. Worked.
Or like they tease lightning or something coming out of it, and it never works until the tag match. And then he just zaps somebody with lightning.
Yeah. So
TMFTs.
TMFT.
It's so sad that I watch SmackDown regularly and just like blanked.
I blanked on it. Yeah, I blanked on it for like 30 seconds.
Very weird. Very weird. We got a $1.99 here from user. I don't know if this is a bot or not. User whatever. AJ Styles to AEW percentage.
I'm very curious to see where it goes.
Okay. I'm going to say 50-50. Go half and
50-50. Well, okay, 50-50. So there was a lot of... I put out a cryptic tweet.
Did I fuck your tweet up? Yeah.
A little bit, but it's okay. I love you. I love you. You didn't do anything wrong. You did nothing wrong.
I used one word, and I think people lost their shit because they were like, what?
Okay, I don't... I'm very interested. I have to be so careful with this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So careful, Rich. Because I've told you what have I told you what this is or no?
Yes, you told me.
Okay. Or what these are. I think AEW's world title picture is going to be very interesting. I should add, I think their title picture is going to, as far as in general goes, is going to be very interesting. Because I was told some things. I'm not going to burn the person who told me this, okay?
Right.
I'm not going to do it. But it was just an observation. It wasn't really me being cryptic. I'm very fascinated by how they're going to get to where they want to go. There's one specific thing that I don't love, but we'll see what happens. I promise you I'll talk more about this as we get closer.
Yes.
As people start showing up and injecting themselves in certain positions for either pay-per-views or TV,
right?
I'll start leading to you for that. But their world title picture, we haven't even spoken about because we've barely done any shows, is unbelievable. I put this tweet out that said, it's looking very interesting, which it is. And even if you're observing just on TV. MJF being in a feud with all these people gunning for him has been such a great story. I really like it. And he's a traveling champion now.
Correct.
He's defending the title in Hague, here in Queens, in Jamaica.
It's pretty fantastic.
Who is it? To Fatu. To Zilla Fatu. Yeah. Zilla Fatu. Interesting. So I put that out. And was that you or MG on the?
No, that was me.
Okay. And Rich wrote, "Sounds phenomenal," or something along those lines.
Yeah, it sounds pretty. It's looking phenomenal. And then
I'm not denying anything. I'm not certain on that. But also, people took that as, oh shit, Andrew Zarian is reporting. I'm like, no.
If you know me, that is a word I use a lot.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I use the word
Rich
phenomenal a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, in this case.
It's just a word. What if I
May I give my theory?
And said, I'm fucking talking. What if I quoted your tweet saying, sounds super mysterious, or
sounds mysterioso?
Yeah, it sounds mysterioso. Like, what would the reaction have been? Sorry, I'm.
I don't know. You should have just wrote booyaka. That's it.
It's looking pretty booyaka.
But they do have some really. I'm curious to see where they go and how they get there, based on what I've been told.
Yeah, MG.
Okay, and I promised myself I'm not ruining stories. Yeah, give me your theory.
Yeah. So, if he doesn't go to AEW, wouldn't it make sense for Bound for Glory in October to be his final match? He's going to stick around.
I guess so, but I don't know. I don't think he. Listen, selfishly, I want him in AEW.
Right.
To wrap up the Kenny stuff, right?
To wrap up the Kenny stuff that we never got. Yeah, but I want to see him. I want to see him. I want to see him in Max. I want to see him in Kenny. I want to see him in Okada again. I want to see him in Swerve.
Team with the Bucks again.
Him and Andrade.
Well, in a weird wrestling fanboy world, wouldn't this give you goosebumps? AJ Styles to AEW. Right? He comes in with Gallows and Anderson. They all say, hey, what happened to this company? I'm taking over. And you have a full-blown Bullet Club reunion.
Hey, they can. They actually, if there's any promotion for them to do it the right way, they would be able to do that. Like you said, he comes in, he brings in Gallows and Anderson. They do some partnership with New Japan, and I'm sure New Japan will love it, because then they just killed the Bullet Club, and they're not selling those T-shirts. Right. That really gave them a huge lifeline as far as money went. I don't think people realize how profitable that stable was for New Japan. We talk about it all the time. 2013, it reinvigorated people. You know, between the pipe bomb happening in 2011 and the Bullet Club happening, how many of your 30 at that time, 35, 36, 37-year-old friends came back to wrestling? A ton.
Everybody came back to wrestling. Everybody was rocking the shirts. Everybody was really hyped on what was going on in Japan. I feel like if let's play devil's advocate here. AJ Styles shows up with Gallows and Anderson. You have a full-blown Bullet Club reunion. What better counter for the Don Callis family that is 25 people than having AJ Styles, the Bucks, Kenny, anybody who was Jay White, like anybody who was even tangentially in the Bullet Club at that point, take on the Callis family. You know, you have 6 months of programming right there.
Yeah, I mean, the Callis family could become like a huge dominant force that nobody could beat, and they got to bring in, the Poison, to defeat them.
The invasion.
You got to bring in the Poison, and the Poison is the Bullet Club. I'm into it. I'd be into seeing him, but selfishly, I want him there. If he goes to WWE, I mean, what else is there for him to do? He could wrap up his career. I mean, he's done, right? He wrapped it up. He said he's done.
Well, they're doing what are they doing? Like an AJ Styles honorarium next Monday?
Yeah. They're doing it's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah. So I wouldn't rule out a Mania match as like an exhibition match. You know, it doesn't count for anything, but he gets
in like TNA or in WWE.
And WWE gets one more chance at Gunther or some shit,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But this is also the super fun part of wrestling. You have that window between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania where every company is trying to do what they can to sell tickets and give you like cool shit.
Yeah. I guess you're going to get that, right? You're going to get all the cool stuff. I'm just curious about how they're going to get to wherever they're getting to on the SmackDown side on WWE. I mean, AJ being injected in that would be cool too, Somehow he qualifies to come back for one last chance.
Like he's done with Raw and he's on SmackDown now.
Yeah, and that was like the contract flaw, you know. They could do a very WWE like weird thing.
I do think this is his last year of wrestling, but I feel like everybody's on the same page where it's like, you don't think the guy's done, right?
I don't think he's done. No, I don't think he's done at all. I can't imagine.
Very interesting. It's very interesting. We'll see what happens. We'll see what unfolds over the next few months.
Yeah. Where else we going?
You want to talk about these WrestleMania ticket sales?
Let's do it. Oh, you want me to go into it? It's numbers.
Oh yeah, it's numbers time, baby.
Yeah. Brandon Thurston of Post Wrestling reported WrestleMania 41 broke the ticket sale revenue for any event. WrestleMania 41 did. 66 million in ticket sales over both nights. That's unbelievable, actually.
Wow.
Each night generated roughly $33 million. A total of 113,000 tickets were sold. The average ticket price came out to $635. That's the average.
Wow.
That is insane.
I've never been to a WrestleMania.
You never been to a WrestleMania?
I've never been to a WrestleMania. Have you been to a WrestleMania?
Yeah. I've been to 10. I was to 20. I was to 10 and I was to 20. I won't go to WrestleMania in MetLife. Terrible building.
Yeah, I would love to go to like a full blown like WrestleMania weekend, like try to do everything, but also like I feel like I would get burnt out in the first hour of sitting.
Oh yeah,
like
sitting, I don't know how people do it. I really don't know how people do like the 2 nights and all of it. You know, they go to 2 nights of WrestleMania. They're going to all the indie shows. They're going to the fan access. They're going to some meet and greet. I don't know how anybody does it. Too much. One day, enough.
It's a lot. It's because I feel like I missed my window going when it was like, oh, MSG WrestleMania 20 tickets are $200. You know, and there's no bad seat in MSG because it's so pricey.
Ticket sales are down. Are you guys hearing those dings or no? It's only in my earphone.
I'm not hearing any dings.
Okay, as long as you're not hearing the dings. Okay.
No dings. This is a ding-free show. Live your life. It's a safe space.
It's over and over again. I'm getting messages, and I can't turn off the dings. I don't know why. The dings cannot be turned off.
Are they going directly into your brain, or are you getting
going right into my brain the entire time? Yeah, anytime I'm getting a message, it's going right in here. It's zapping me.
Can't get rid of the dings.
Let's talk about this story. AEW Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Headed to Arthur Ashe Stadium. I'm sorry. Headed to Louis Armstrong Stadium. It's even my story, and I have no idea what I'm talking about here.
It's also written in very bold text right in front of you.
It's also written in very bold text. It's funny how I reported this. I had this set for a Tuesday drop, right? And I got a message from somebody, and they said, "Hey, I thought you'd be interested, but there's a show from AEW coming to your neighborhood, to your neck of the woods." And I go in the most Andrew. I'm like, "Yep, I already know. Louis Armstrong Stadium, Double or Nothing." And they go, "Oh, first of all, how do you know this? Second, okay."
That's it.
That was it. I mean, we spoke about this. I told you guys a while ago, but I had somebody tell me that they were locked in for there. They were originally going to run Louis Armstrong instead of Arthur Ashe last year,
right?
And they decided to not go in that direction. But there was another pay-per-view. I forgot what it was that was coming here that they were playing with the idea of running that building.
Yeah,
it's a great building. Listen, it's exactly where Arthur Ashe was. It's in the USTA facilities. It holds about 14,000 people.
Great.
Great. And you don't have these buildings. Listen, and a lot of people are like, how come you can't book the Garden? Because the Garden will not book them.
Right.
But it's very evident that Barclays and the Garden have an exclusivity with WWE. So if you want to run New York City, you really don't have another venue. This is it. This is like, people don't understand. If you want to run New York City, by the way, all these bizarre people that are arguing with me about Queens not being part of New York City is mind-blowing.
I saw that. And I didn't, you know what? I'm matured. I didn't get involved. I really wanted to go to every single one of them and be like, you're a moron. You're a moron. You're a moron.
Well, they were like, do you consider Staten Island part of New York City? I'm like, yeah, it's part of New York City.
Metro New York, dude.
It's part of New York City. It's the 5 boroughs. It's in New York City.
Now, if somebody said, do you consider Westchester County part of New York City? I would say no.
I would say no, because it's not part of New York City.
Long
Island is not part of New York City.
New York City ends at the Nassau County border.
It ends at the Nassau County border, yes.
Right.
But Queens is on Long Island, which I think that's the weird thing. I think to a lot of people, when they think New York City, they just think Manhattan, which is fine.
Yes.
Which is totally fine. Manhattan is the city of New York City.
Right.
It's so large. New York is so large. It's the city of the city.
Right.
Does that make sense? Yes.
It's the city of the city. We are also only 10 miles away from city center, New York.
Yeah.
You know, like we can get into Manhattan in 20 minutes on the railroad. I disagree with all those chumps who were saying that Queens is not part of New York City. It's
like saying like West Hollywood is not Los Angeles. You know,
right? Or
Beverly Hills is not Los Angeles.
Like Brooklyn's. If they were playing at the Barclays and you said like AEW comes to New York City, it's in Brooklyn. You know, there's going to be a bunch of people arguing about that also.
Yeah.
But
I think it was Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door was going to be at Arthur Ashe. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
I think you're right. Now let me ask you: Is Louis Armstrong topless?
It's pasties and bottoms only. They don't have the cabaret license for totally top. Is that no? Oh, wait a minute. I don't know what you're talking about. I think there is. I think there's a retractable.
Okay.
I think it has a retractable. Because they're now running Arthur Ashe because it's demolished right now. It won't be finished until next year.
Yeah. We're getting a lot for those of you that don't live in New York, we're getting a glow up where where Arthur Ashe, Citi Field, Louis Armstrong, like where all this stuff is, we're getting a very overdue glow up. We're getting a new soccer stadium getting built, and I feel like that's gonna be the venue, dude. Like,
that'll be an all-in venue. I'm willing to put money on it that they will run all in that venue if they're capable of it. Because think about it, it's a 25,000 person stadium, so it's not this mega stadium. 25,000 people. You put people on the floor. You could maybe get about almost 30 in there. You know, maybe you could have 30,000 people with obviously the ramp's going to take them. Let's say 30,000. That's a fantastic show to run. 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Brand new facility. It's going to be a brand new building, state of the art facility. You know, why wouldn't you book there? The hotels are going up.
Right away. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty nuts.
But that's the big story here, that Double or Nothing is coming to Queens, New York City. This will be the first wrestling event held in the stadium. Ringer Magazine sanctioned a boxing fight there in July that nobody knew about. Do you know that?
No, I did not know about that. I gotta check with my my boxing guy about that.
Yeah, Ring Magazine sanctioned a boxing event in July last year that I have no idea about.
It's very very fascinating. I wish I followed boxing more. I got one buddy, my buddy Matt. He's still in it. I
still watch it. But it's not what it was.
Yeah.
Like, I like heavyweight boxing, and heavyweight boxing is not great right now.
How are you feeling about this Mayweather-Tyson fight?
It's an exhibition.
Little money
jabs. They're gonna do one of these.
Yeah.
You know, when we start wrestling, like when we start doing this, that's what they're gonna do.
Do you think they should add, like, for the first time in history, a third person into
the fight? Yeah. You should do it. Find another old timer.
Jake Paul. Throw Jake Paul in there.
It's a 3-way fight.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Do you want to talk about the thumbnail of our show today?
Yeah, let's talk about the thumbnail of our show.
So where is Dave Finlay headed? Where is Hiromu Takahashi headed? Where is Evil headed?
I think Evil's headed to WWE.
Yeah.
Dave Finlay, I could see going to WWE. Dave Finlay's great. I think Takahashi's fascinating because where does he fit? Does he go to WWE?
Do you have Dave Finlay dominate NXT?
I think you could do something with him in NXT. That's really. I mean, how old is Dave now? Dave Finlay's 32 years old, so he's been in New Japan for a very, very long time.
Yeah,
I like that he's a German-born American pro wrestler.
Yeah,
both in Germany and North Irish, both in Germany and North Irish parents, both in. Who wrote this? Who wrote this copy?
Is it MG? Did MG write it?
Yeah, I listen. I think he'd be great in NXT. You put him in NXT,
yeah. Dominate NXT. And you have his dad still working for the company.
Yeah, I think that he could definitely do something. He's in Atlanta. He lives in Atlanta, so I would definitely do something with him. He was a global champion for IW. He was the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion in New Japan. I mean, they gave him a nice push. I don't know because he's interesting. He stayed in Japan longer than I thought he would.
Yes.
I think him going to AEW, I don't know what would happen. I think he could definitely go to, AEW, he would just be one of those guys and they could decide whether or not they want to elevate him. I think AEW has too many people right now. It's going to be almost impossible for him to kind of shine there. If he goes to NXT and he starts dominating NXT and he could have these, programs there, that might be good for him too. The AEW situation is fascinating because that show was great on Saturday. So Wednesday too. Wednesday they put on an unbelievable show.
Yeah, they've been doing very, very tight programming lately.
It's good stuff. It's really good TV.
Now, do you think Takeshita ends up reunifying those titles again?
I mean, I don't think they need two titles.
So Takeshita eventually beats Moxley and then eventually takes on Okada to unify those titles.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many mid-range titles they have now. They have the International, they have the Continental, right? That's the Continental title, but that's
Continental.
Well, you combine them. You have the National title, right?
So
whatever Ricochet has.
So we did this a few weeks ago, where I'll go through it again with you. Okay, world title.
Yeah.
Do you want to go men's and women's or just the men's?
Let's do men's right now.
Okay. World title, 1.
Okay.
Continental champion.
Well, okay, Continental champion, which is John Moxley.
Right.
Okay.
Tag champs, FTR.
FTR, okay.
TNT champ, Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher now, yeah.
Trios, Adam Page and Jet Speed.
Okay.
Right. Okada, international champ.
Okay. And Ricochet's national
champ.
So Okada's had the international title for 221 days.
Okay.
Ricochet has had it for 87, the national title. FTR 87 also.
This is also not counting the the Ring of Honor stuff.
Yeah. That's this is just AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, you could combine. I mean, listen, you could keep the Continental for the tournament, but you don't need the international and the national.
I think those 3 belts should be combined into one.
Just make it one super secondary title.
Yeah, like the Continental, the national, and the international, just make it like some kind of prestige sounding title, right? Keep the TNT, because I feel like they're always going to have the TNT.
They also have the unified, right? So if you throughout the year combine these titles, let's say, let's say Okada beats Ricochet for the national title.
Right.
And then he beats John Moxley. Does he become the unified champion again? How many of those belts, what combination brings back the unified title?
I would like that. So going forward, would you say if you have both belts, you're the unified champ, and then if you get beaten, it splits again?
That's how they do it.
Okay. Would you keep doing that, or would you say like, no, we're doing one unification and that's it? It's covering all. You're the national, intercontinental, whatever. You're the national, international.
Combine it with the world title? What happens if you combine it with the world title?
You get like a sick mega belt.
Oh, dude, like a crazy one.
like that undisputed championship that Brock had.
That was way too big for everybody.
Like the biggest belt on the planet.
Oh my god, those guys would be too tiny for those belts.
I like that Saudi title, that massive Saudi title.
Oh my god, yeah. You would just get the Saudi title. Yeah, that's what would happen at that point. You would get the Saudi title. Yeah. Where do you want to go? You want to do questions? You want to go into something?
We got 15 minutes. You want to just do questions?
Yeah, let's do questions.
Guys, send us your questions.
I'm still easing back into this thing. I'm easing back in, guys.
We'll be rocking on Friday.
Yeah, Friday we'll be back. Big time.
Big time. Guys, send your questions. If you want to super chat us, we'll answer your question first. If not, that's fine.
Oh, I got something interesting. Did you see that CNN article?
Which CNN article?
There was a CNN article about AEW and WWE, and in the article, CNN had to disclose that their parent company, Warner Media Discovery, owns a small portion of AEW.
Yes. I think
How long ago did we talk about this?
You've mentioned this quite a lot, where not in definitives, but in passing, saying like, yeah, like how Tony Khan owns a certain percent, and the rest is definitely some kind of investors, right?
I guess now I could kind of disclose this. I had a fascinating conversation with Eric Bischoff about this. Okay. Off the air.
Okay. Right.
And I don't want to go into the detail. First of all, I had actually a great time talking to Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go into any politics here, but him and I could possibly be from the same place, same people. Had heard exactly the same thing said exactly the same way. Okay, I was told this in such passing, just matter of fact, when I was told, and I was not expecting to be told this. Like literally, it was like, oh, we have a part of that company. We own a piece.
Yeah.
It's a small amount. I've always been told it's a small amount because if it was a large amount, they would have to disclose it because they're a publicly traded company. But of course, why would they not want a piece of it? You are a network partner, and I've hinted at this so many times where I speak to people in both NBC, Universal. I very little with Netflix, to be honest. So full disclosure, I don't talk to many people on Netflix. But on the TV side of things, I speak to people at USA regularly. I had spoken to people from Fox at certain points regularly, and I speak to people regularly from WBD.
Yeah.
The language that people use matters. When you see one company is so much far more invested in the success of something, or they're invested in that property and their positioning when it comes to marketing and sales and whatever, it's telling to me because these companies all operate the same way. There is extreme care about AEW on the Warner side.
Right.
I've never seen it treated as just another show on the network. They've always treated it really well.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest hint here. You look at their social media. First of all, look at AEW's social media, right?
Great job.
What is it? Not the official one, the Warner one. What is it?
AEW on TNT.
Okay.
That one?
Yeah, I guess, is it that one? I think it is.
Yeah.
That is they know what they're doing, Yeah. They've assigned people that understand wrestling to run that account. It's not some intern sitting there and doing it like other companies, like some other companies do. The USA doesn't do that either, but they don't have that synergy. And you talk about the synergy between companies. I use that. There's nothing that I've seen on comparing to AEW and WBD's relationship. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I think this is a very good thing because when it comes time to nurture, they're going to, because there is some sort of financial relationship there. The other part that people need to realize also, they are partners in certain things outside of whatever the ownership is because the pay-per-views are generating money for Warner.
Yeah.
Now they're getting 100 and let's say 50,000 buys a pay-per-view. That's not all going to Warner. I know the numbers, by the way. I know what percentage is going there. It's growing, but it's not 100,000 people tuning into Max to watch it on pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. But it's growing every pay-per-view. It grows more. And that's a positive. And every time it grows, that's more revenue to be split with Warner Media. So I think the synergy's there. I don't think there's a risk. Now, I don't know. Anything could happen, right? Because now they're talking about Paramount back in play for Warner and Netflix. That deal's... So this is all corporate nonsense. But this was the story, right? Do they own a piece of the company?
Yeah.
And we've alluded to this many times. I actually went on the show with Brandon Thurston and John Pollock to talk about it years ago. And I told him point blank. I was told. So interesting stuff. All right, we go into questions. Sorry, I just needed to touch on that.
No. That was listen. That was fantastic. All right, you want to do some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hit MG. Hit the one from user whatever that says. I can't read today. If y'all were TK, would you have pivoted and strapped up Brody King given his media attention? That's a good question. I would say too soon to say. I feel like if it was like another couple of weeks, absolutely. If it keeps going.
I would have said no because it was political. And you're gonna alienate 50%, if not more. So
that's
why I don't think that's a that's a smart pivot. I think if the person gets hot on their own, absolutely you could make a decision. I think Brody's very deserving of a title shot or something, and anything like that. But I don't think it's because of the crowd chanting a political statement should be the reason why he's getting elevated, because it would bring so much negativity to him, and he shouldn't have a stigma of that. He said what he said. He that's his total right to say what he says. He has his opinion. That's fantastic. But I don't think. I'm not saying reward as far as like don't reward him for expressing how he feels, but it's the wrong time to do it, in my opinion. If that's how you're going to do it. Media attention was not all that positive. Yeah, on CNN, of course, and I think the fact that people are chanting it says a lot about how people feel, but I don't think Brody, you want to add that to Brody because his ability to get over on his own and his in-ring and his promos and what he's done on TV should matter, not that he got hot as a meme over a political statement. I wouldn't pivot your creative for that.
I see. I disagree. I agree and I disagree. I feel like it's half and half, just because I feel like it's all wrapped into the guy itself, and that fan base wants it, and I think that's one of the definitions of being over. Like, he's over. The fans want it, but to disrupt creative specifically in that way. Right, you're right. Like if those plans that we've talked about are in place, it's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be difficult to pivot from that, but it's just my whole thing. Like I'm very zero politics when it comes to public facing. I won't talk politics. I'll talk politics with you. I'll talk, MG. I can't talk politics. He's too extreme.
Yeah, because he just keeps wanting to vote for the mole men.
Yeah, he just wants the mole men running things, and it's crazy.
It's like Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, and then the Mole Man Party.
Yeah, and that's what he represents. That's what he represents. Did
you know that Trump stole the Mole Man Party slogan?
Was that it? Make Mole Men great again? Was that it?
No, it was dig baby dig.
Dig baby dig. Yeah. Dig baby dig. That's a it's fantastic. I think Brody's fantastic. I don't.
He's gonna be.
I wouldn't do that to him. You know what? And I think it's very, dude. You know what? I would have said no way, but you were so on the money when it came to Adam Page, like 10 freaking years ago, 15 years ago. You saw that guy in Ring of Honor early on. You're like, oh yeah, that dude's gonna be a world champion. And I was like, yeah, okay.
It was a New Japan show, and I was like, "Ah, that's the guy."
Yeah, you knew. Yeah, you had the feeling.
Brody's gonna get strapped up at some point, you know.
Yeah. By the way, that whole thing about Brody being taken off TV due to Warner Media, that was a bizarre reporting by my friend Dave.
Your friend, uncle, and mentor.
Dave. My friend, uncle, and mentor, Dave. And you know, like I commented on Sean's without knowing that Dave had reported it. And Dave, listen, man, you know, Dave gets way too much unfair criticism on the internet. This is a guy that I speak to regularly. I've met him many times. There's no ill intention with what he says and does. He does his due diligence. So whoever told him this had to have been somebody that is credible. But I got a message at 8 o'clock in the morning from somebody that you know too, Rich, and they go, Can you effing say something about this?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know anything. He goes, well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to make you smart here. It is untrue. I said, okay. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and here we are.
Yeah.
You took the Z right out of his last name.
I took the Z.
He's airing him. He's just Dave Melter now.
He's Dave Melter. He's Dave Melter now. I control all disease. Do you know that? I can take Z's from everybody. Yeah,
I know that. That's why, you know.
Dolph Ziggler, he's Dolph Igler. I take his Z too.
You're gonna take Mr. Gonzo's Z one day.
Mr. Gano.
It's gonna be
Mr. Gonzo.
It's when you fire him.
Yeah, Mr. Gano. All right, let's do a couple more. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we got one from Paul Anthony Moss right here. Hashtag Ask Beyond the Belt. The AEW title situation for 2026 that you've referenced, do you expect it culminating at All In August or going through to Full Gear / World's End?
I think it would go till the end. Mm-hmm. I don't know the time frame. I do know certain time frame, but I don't want to jump the gun here, and I'm not going to ruin any matches. I'm not telling you like All In. I think again, my opinion, how it should be. I think Will Ospreay needs to win the title at All In.
Okay.
So however you get that, this is me. Again, this is my opinion, not what they're going to do. My opinion. Whatever they are doing, the culmination needs to be a big match for Ospreay. Who that is your opinion. To me, the big match really is Kenny and him for the title, right? That's the big match.
Yeah.
But there's other variables. Huh?
A lot of moving parts. They've done a great job of cementing that top level main event spot, you know, because and everybody's coming after MJF. And I feel like they haven't done this before. So you have your MJF, your Swerve, your Kenny, your Andrade, your Hangman, and then at some point Ospreay, right?
And Okada's in his own bubble.
Which is kind of weird, right?
Which is so odd. Like he's in his own. You know, I get that you don't need to put the title on him, right? I get it. But he does have a title. And that international could be your secondary world title if it's defended and title swaps. You know, they've done a very good job with the TV title. I mean, that thing is their TV title is the 90s IC title.
Yes, the TNT
I think Kyle Fletcher ping-ponging it, which I want to see more of this, by the way. I want to see more title changes happening. And this is part of what I'm talking about, because we saw Thekla win the title. We saw Kyle Fletcher win the title off of Ciampa, which he just got the title.
Yep.
I think we're going to see these things happen here.
Which is good. And we've talked about this for years where, you know, like do a little hot potato. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt when you do it properly. You could have a time frame where things are so competitive, and this is how you explain it. We were in the era that people were so competitive. It was really hard to have a long title reign. Because think about it, week after week, you're getting your ass kicked as the champion. I'm just going to bring MJF. MJF had to have a match with I'm just throwing names, right? He had the match with Brody King. He's going to have a match with Andrade. He'll have a match with this one. He'll have a match with Hangman. He drops it to Hangman because he's so exhausted. I'm just throwing, again, this is not prediction. This is me just saying. And then Hangman has the same problem with Joe coming in and Kenny coming in. And finally, okay, someone brought up Darby. Do you still see Darby winning a title this year? Sure. And then Darby comes in, beats him for the title, but then you justify the Darby win with, hey, yeah, we get it. He's small, but he came at the right time at the right place because this guy was so exhausted from defending his title week after week in these non-preliminary style matches. It's not MJF against against Mike Bailey. It's not MJF against Kevin Knight. It's MJF against Brody King. It's MJF against Okada. It's MJF against Hangman Page. And then a Darby could come in. A Darby could come in.
A Darby. Yeah.
A Darby. Or Darby. I think Darby would be it's an interesting variable, but a Darby comes in and wins it on a fluke.
Yeah.
I'm not saying do the Takumi Shinoku thing.
Right.
Which, by the way, you want to talk about matches that are engraved in your freaking head. That is the match that's engraved in my head.
Yeah. What a moment.
What a moment, because the crowd got into it. You could do that with a Darby. You could do that with a smaller guy. But I like the story that they're telling where, to be a champion, to be a world champion in this company, there's no more rest. You can't be a champion that defends on pay-per-views. You're defending every single week against an Andrade.
Which I love. I love that. I love that concept,
By the way, he's the best. He looks so good.
He's jacked.
He's the sexy boy, dude. He is the sexy boy.
He's got the bad bees hanging out by ringside.
I know. He's getting his smooches in.
Yeah. That's what it's like.
Are they turning him into a Latino Pepe Le Pew? Because I'm kind of into it.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
It's just the pheromones or, they're just, the girls are just following him.
That's usually what happens to us when we go to wrestling shows, except it's just all dudes trying to kiss us.
It's a bunch of dudes.
You guys won't remember this name, but this is Al Jarreau from back in the day. He was with Gary Hart back in the territory days, and they had the same gimmick. He was a Latin heartthrob, is what they called him.
I love a Latin heartthrob gimmick. What a great gimmick.
Andrew. Oh shit, it's Andrew and Riz. Let me kiss you on the lips. That's
what happens, dude. And then you know what the problem is? We greet people with the two-sided European kiss.
That is true. Yeah,
and people get a little confused. Listen, they don't know the culture, so they think the next thing you got to do is kiss on the lips. No, it doesn't work like that. You see us, we're going to give you the two-sided kiss. Just how it is.
They always go for the third kiss, and I always put my hand over their mouth.
Except for Mike Johnson, I whisper sweet nothings in his ear at the wrestling shows.
That's right. Yeah. You guys were having quite the rapport there at the AEW show.
Oh, I love him. I love Mike. Somebody tried to start a beef between us on Twitter.
Really? Why?
Yeah, Mike Johnson, which never posts, he posted, he's like, hey guys, stop emailing me asking me what cryptic tweets mean. And somebody then tagged at Andrew Zarian, and I wrote, yeah, dude, don't stop messaging Mike Johnson my tweets.
Yeah.
Don't bother him with that nonsense. I'm having fun on the internet. You don't just let things be. And a Mike message, he's like, I wasn't even talking about Andrew. And if I was, I just call him and ask him, what are you talking about? Right. And then he called me and asked me, what are you talking about?
He was like, what's a tweet?
What's a tweet?
Oh, that's what that is.
He's a Mets boy. He's a Mets boy, dude.
He's a nice guy.
He's a Mets boy.
You want to do one question and then we're done?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Oh, can we?
Yeah. Oh, can we?
They said AEW will sign more women to their division. Who do you think they'll sign?
I don't know. I think they gotta improve who they have currently. Yeah. I listen. They have so much talent there already. Who are they gonna sign? That's gonna be a changer. There's not much.
The women's roster is pretty stacked, but I think they're doing really, really well. It seems like they're getting more cohesive.
Yeah, I mean, Thekla being champion is interesting.
I
like that.
Do you guys think Mercedes off TV is hurting them?
I don't think so. I don't think it's hurting. It's hurting them at all. I think they need to get organized. Okay. I like this. I don't like, and again, I mean no shade by this, right? I don't like the flavor of the month booking. Okay. Decide who your 1, 2, 3, and 4 are, and then go from there. Who's number 1 in that company right now? Thekla, right? Thekla's the champion. Toni Storm is number 1. Tony, Thekla by default because she's a champion. Chris Statlander, former champion.
Yeah.
But who are the serious competitors for the title?
Right.
You did such a great job last year between Mariah and Tony and how that was going. They need to do that again. They need another Mariah May.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you.
Shoot.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Rich, but real quick, what do you guys think of the what do you think of the intergender? They're going full intergender matches now on TV. They did it on Dynamite this week. They did it at the show, the Collision show this weekend.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
they did a house show.
Fine.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Because
I can see it. It's fun sometimes. I don't want there to be like an intergender title. I think we've gone beyond it. I think we've gone beyond the intergender stuff. I don't like men fighting women. Maybe that's just me.
Okay.
I mean, unless it's like a heat moment, then I'm like, oh my God.
But you don't want like the Lucha Underground style matches.
No, I never was into it. I never liked it. I know Penta and Chelsea Green had a great match. It's not for me. And it's fine. It can be for you. It's not for me.
Yeah. Anything in wrestling, if it's done well,
it works. And if it's not done well, it's the shits.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. It is fascinating though how much wrestling has evolved. It really is. Like, I watch all those old WCWs, and I'm like, half of the stuff that we thought was good would never be able to be on TV today. They would never put it on. It's too sloppy,
100%. Yeah, it's way too sloppy. But in all, like, I always felt like WCW was also too oily. Everybody was
a lot of
way oiled up.
The crowd, dude. The crowd was all oily.
Yeah, everybody was oily and smoky.
So as far as who they could sign, I don't know who's available, but if they're looking to sign more female talent, it has to be people that they intend on utilizing in a big role. Listen, Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah.
I love Deonna.
Right.
What happened?
Thunder Rosa. What happened?
You have so much talent there.
Yeah. Will these mysteries be answered?
Who knows? You know what? We could ask RJ City. That's who I could ask.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's do one more and then...
Yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah. Is he out?
Let's
I like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Sloppy Joe's in Key West.
Yeah, I like it. I never thought I'd ever see you wear a Hemingway shirt.
Really?
Yeah. I like it. It's a cool shirt. What are we doing, Balor Club?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, with it being too obvious, Finn is losing. What if Finn wins in Chicago, does a third match before Mania, Dom costs Finn the title, and you set up Dom versus Finn at WrestleMania?
They have to set that up eventually. I mean, they've been teasing this for like 2.5 years at this point, right? You could do something like that. I don't know. I think Dom is on a total roll. I don't think you should mess with him at all right now.
No. Not at all.
Like, leave him alone. My apologies.
Bless you.
Leave him alone. Let him be the mega champion. Let him be IC. Let him do what he's doing. I think he should start defending that AAA title on WWE TV.
That's your Mania match.
Dude, I would love that. Yeah, you
For
know
the-
what? That
for the
title should be
first time
defended at
ever.
WrestleMania. Yeah, first time
Yep.
ever the AAA title's defended at WrestleMania. But wait, didn't they? No, they didn't have the title defended last year, right?
I don't believe so.
Vikingo didn't defend the title.
I don't believe he did. Have Dom defended against
Yeah. Ow, my leg.
Vikingo or anybody.
Yeah.
You know, like for the first time ever, the AAA Mega Champions defending at WrestleMania.
Yeah. All right, we can wrap up.
All right.
Love you guys. We'll be back on Friday with a Matt Men. Follow us. You want more Rich and Andrew? You follow us on YouTube, Matt Men Podcast. Well, YouTube.com/Matt Men Podcast. You can follow me on X at Andrew Zarian. BTC Rich on X. And we'll see you all next time. Take care.
Later.